everyone doing tonight? I believe this is October now, 26, my birthday. I'm 34. Woohoo, look. Ooh, wow, I can't grow anymore. I'm a fucking dwarf. I like it. I like looking like a fucking 16-year-old, and I'm 34. But I'm going to show you guys some of my artwork and how I do my props. One of the very few props I've made is TVs. I like to make television sets from the 90s and 80s era. Sorry about the mess in the background. But this is a TV I made for Halloween. And the reason for that being is I made a lot of this shit, actually. I made that, the guitar, Marceline's guitar from Adventure Time. I made that. I think kind of went over you guys with another video how I made my art. It's a pumpkin I made. And what's going to happen is this pumpkin, here's a spider. And spiders I didn't make, I bought those. What's going to happen is the pumpkin is going to sit inside the television set like so. Right? And the spider's going to sit in there too. And I got a little moon I made. It's going to hang up. And yeah. And the spider's going to be in there too. But I'm going to show you guys how I do it. Now this is called stone casting. So basically what you want to do after you've got your TV, a lot of people who are prop makers, and I'm very sure a lot of you are prop makers, and you do have you do know how to make costumes and props. Stiltbeast is another guy I follow. Shout out to Stiltbeast. He gave me a lot of inspiration for making these kind of things. A lot of people that are on YouTube and they do make props like me, and they're freelance artists like myself, and they're not part of corporate world. Got a message and I'm busy, so I'm not gonna read it. But here's my spray paint I'm using. These are all the tools and all that. But what I'm doing, this is something I came up with. I made another piece for a friend. He goes, "How did you give it that rough look?" So this is what I call stone casting. So what you do is you get yourself some interior house paint. It could be anything, Rust-Oleum, Valspar, whatever. I'm using something called Glitten. That's the good stuff. That's the stuff they paint houses and shit with. So what you do is you got to saturate this. You want this really nice and wet. Okay? And I'm just demonstrating. And you want it wet enough not to where it'll get on your clothes or on your food or anything, or on your pet's fur. And you see how wet that is? You want that nice and wet like that. And to give it a cracking effect, the paint is semi-wet, and you get yourself, I'm using gray and black, because TVs back in the 80s were gray and black. Now TVs today are like completely black. Remember, this is a TV from the 80s era. So I get some. This is not safe to do inside, but I'm not saying you should do it, but I'll be alright. Windows are open in here. And you get yourself the spray paint of your choice. I'm using something called Witch. Wow, what a coincidence, right? This is made by my friend's company he runs. It's called Midwest Art. This is sugar. And it's extremely low smells. You can't really smell as much. Professional artists use this all your graffiti artists and stuff like that. People that paint, they're artists, right? And while this is still wet, you want to go like this, all right? You see how wet that is, and you just hit it up, man. You hit it up while it's wet. And what it is this paint, the brush-on paint that you brush on, that's going to be like the undercoat, but since it's still wet, it's going to give it like a cracking effect when it dries, because the thing about that is the aerosol spray paint dries quicker than the brush-on paint. The brush-on paint takes at least a good hour, sometimes a day to dry, and this stuff dries pretty fast. So when you have two things, it's kind of like oil sitting on water. Oil and water don't mix. If you don't believe me, you could take a cup of water, put any kind of oil in it you want, and it will see it's going to sit. The oil will sit on top of the water, because the water is actually a thin liquid. Oil is a thick liquid, so thin versus thick. There you go. So see, what I'm going to do is, this is like this, and I'm going to take this like so, and excuse me, this is after hours, so no one's really here. And yes, I'm watching Elvira. It's my baby. I love her. I mean, who doesn't? She's 60 and she still look that damn hot. That's crazy, right? And what you can do personally, you can leave it outside, but it's all about preference. For me, I left it outside and it had a cracking effect, but it didn't have a cracking effect I want. So I got the fan running here. And what you can do too also is you can, while the fan is running, you put it in front of a fan, whatever. You want air though. You want cold air. You don't want hot air because it'll fuck it up. You want it to give it a cracking effect. See, it's starting to crack now. So you want to like put this in front of the fan. Make sure it's secure. And what will happen is, since it's in front of the fan, you give it like a cracking effect. So remember, you're gonna go over your project first, whatever you're using. You know, some people might not be making a TV. Some people might make a, I don't know, anything. But I use a lot of boxes, and I'm gonna show you how many boxes I use because we throw out boxes by the day. Like every day, we're throwing boxes out of this place. This is an indoor facility. It's my bike. Very colorful. It's a party bus outside. I don't know why. There's no strippers getting out, so it's no good. But I'm gonna show you the boxes that we throw out. See, so we've got a lot of boxes here, and when we throw these boxes out, I just go nuts because I use all these boxes are gonna be some kind of prop. You know, and this is what I do. This is my own thing. I didn't go to school or college for this. It's art. You don't need to go to school for art. I don't care what it is. Now, if you're tattooing somebody, it's a little different, but not really. A lot of people do tattoos out of their house. This would be better if you get your, you know, certificate to say you can, because that's dealing with the human body. That's a little different, but I'm not. I love tattoos. I love piercings, but I'll never, you know, stick a pin or needle in nobody. I've done my own piercings, some of them. But all these boxes, they're going to be made into something. So, yeah, pretty much that's what stone casting is. You want to take your wet paint, put it on top of your project first. So wet paint first, and while it's nice and wet, you get your spray paint, go right over it. So spray paint is acting like a top coat. The liquid paint is acting as a undercoat, and that'll give it this nice cracking. If you want that effect, this nice cracking, rustic, ancient look to it. And I've done it with experience. I made a Slayer piece. I made like a medallion. You know the band Slayer, Tom Araya. We like I said, we throw a lot of cardboard out. And it was a friend's birthday or something, and it was might have been his birthday, might have been something else. But he was in a Slayer, and I took some cardboard, drew a circle, and went over the circle first with the wet paint, then spray painted on top, let it dry. And I went back out to see if it was dry. It had this little cracking effect. And the Slayer's got a song called, or an album called, When the Stillness Comes. And I'm like, it's like a rock, you know. And I went back out there and had all these little cracks in it, and then I just fucking roll with it. So that was like a perfect mistake. I didn't know that happened. So what you want to do, the stone cast, I'm telling you guys how to do it. You get your cardboard or whatever you're going to paint. You want to get this wet paint first, then you go over it with the spray paint. It could be any spray paint, any color you want. Black, blue, purple. I use black and gray because black and gray symbolizes the 80s for the TVs. Because television sets from the 80s and 90s, when I was a kid, they were always black and gray. We didn't have this touchscreen shit, you know. But that's why I wanted to make this video. That'll be all. And that is how you stone cast. You get your wet paint first. Alright. Then you get your top coat. Which your top coat, like I said, your top coat is going to be, like, it could be, you can make a little cap like I did. It could be anything. But like I said, keep in mind, okay, you want to get your wet stuff first. This is your wet stock. All this stuff is your dry stock. So wet stock, dry stock. And you'll see, once you put the wet on first, the wet paint, the wet, what I mean by wet stock, like, I don't know what you mean by that. That means anything that's in the can that you would brush on, that'll be your wet stock. You know, it doesn't have to be glittered or rust-on. It can be anything you want. So you get your wet stock first, slap it on your cardboard, make out your design, what you want. You know, give some reference, go Google it or whatever you're going to do, or go to Pinterest or go to Instagram, hell, whatever. I go a lot of Pinterest a lot myself. But this is just stuff that comes in my mind from reality. You get your wet stock first, which is in a can. Then you get your dry stuff any of the spray paint. And that's it. It'll give us this nice cracking, if that's the effect you want. Maybe you're not into the 90s, 80s horror like I am. And that's it. The rest is history. So this is Dark Other Being Goddess signing off. And that was prop making, how I do my props 101. Subscribe if you have not done so. Dark Other Being Goddess. Check out my Facebook page, the Oracle costume making service. It's an art page as well. I don't just only make costumes, I make props. Maybe you've seen something on TV or a movie you want. You know, anything you want, I can make it. There's a number there. Call, let me know what's going on. Say, hey, I came up with this idea. I want I don't know what the fuck. I want a unicorn medallion. I'm the person to talk to. I make jewelry. I do it all. I'm an artist. That's all I can say. So, costume making, played along with the other stuff. It's art. That's what it is. Remember, subscribe, stay you be true. Happy Halloween, and that'll be all later. And like I said, check out the Oracle costume making service. I'm out of here, and take care of yourself. You know, don't drink and drive. Drive or drink responsibly, and don't do stupid shit, 'cause you'll go to jail or get hurt or visit the Reaper. Don't do stupid shit. I'm out of here. Later.